How do you stop snacking at night? Is a question that was just asked to me. And this was a woman who had already started with the basics. She had already learned the really important skills and she had been practicing them. That was the beautiful part. So today I'm going to cover some of the four basic skills of eating transformation. These four skills, you have to practice them. It's like if you want to become an NBA basketball player, well, you got to learn to dribble, you got to learn to defend, you got to learn to shoot, you got to learn to pass, right? You got to you practice those skills, you get better at them. And you combine them and you can do cool things on the NBA court. You can be the next LeBron James. But in terms of eating, if you just want to stop compulsive eating, stop emotional eating, it's not a matter of willpower. It's not it's not a button you change. And so today we're going to be covering the four basic skills, and I'll share with you the last and most recent skill, the most recent mindset I just taught her. So the first four skills are first, it's realizing you have to feel uncomfortable emotions. And the next skill that builds off of it is after you feel uncomfortable emotions, you have to process them. You have to understand them and take care of yourself. Third, you have to eat nutrient-dense food. This is really important. And then fourth, these all come together right here, right now. You actually have to use food as self-care and be in tune with how you're feeling and actually eat nutrient-dense food on a regular basis. So basically the first four skills are, it's like an advanced way of approaching a meal plan. A meal plan, I'm sure have you ever been on a meal plan? Sure, everyone's been on a meal plan. You get some times, you get some foods, and you get a list. And you just follow it, but it's disconnected. It's a to-do list. And you can follow a meal plan for a week or 2 weeks, whatever, but then there's no life in it. It's just a list, and it's not integrated into who you are. So these four principles actually make eating healthy food emotional. It's emotionally connected to who you are. So let's dive into these and explore, and then we'll explore the fifth one. The first one is feeling uncomfortable emotions. You do have to feel them. And after you feel uncomfortable emotions, including uncomfortable body sensations like fullness and hunger, then you are in a real position to start taking care of yourself, to process your feelings with step two. If it's an emotion, I know this lady, she's journaling. I tell her, hey, if you really want to binge, we're not going to stop you. We're actually not going to judge you. We're not going to stop you. But I want you to journal first, because that storm of emotions, you need to process it. If you process it and you still want to eat, that's okay. We're going for progress, not perfection. Big mindset change right there. Okay, so process your emotions. If you're hungry, what are you feeling? And you have to respond to these emotions. And some of the baseline skills are then eating nutrient-dense food. Nutrient-dense food is basically unprocessed. But the key thing, and we'll go into this a little bit, is discovering how it makes you feel. And the fourth principle, again, is eating regularly. So when you feel yourself getting hungry, and you have a mindset that you need to take care of yourself, that you actually feel your emotional needs, you feel your physical needs, then you actually feed yourself with nutrient-dense food. So step three is kind of like understanding what nutrient-dense foods are, having them available, and then step four is actually eating them, actually drawing a line in the sand and eating them. It sounds simple on paper, but we all know how crazy busy our days get and how it's so easy to get too busy and you skip a meal and you just don't prioritize taking care of yourself. And when you don't prioritize taking care of yourself, your mind is easily in the future worrying about stuff. And when we have this attitude of self-care, of standing up for yourself, of loving yourself, then you are able to feel what's best for you. These are four basic skills you got to get good at. But number five, I hinted at it. This is something that's because this woman, she's still struggling with snacking at night. That's something that has continued to come up. Gets home, crazy busy day, and she has taken the time to actually feel her emotions during the day. She's taking a little bit longer of a lunch break and actually taking a lunch break and filling up. She's she's made this huge transition where food is self-care. So her snack, she's planning out the night before the snack she's gonna bring. And this alone, this mindset of food is self-care, which encompasses the first four principles, it's changed her life. Her binge eating is way down, and and she feels great, and it's like, okay, sweet, but she's still snacking at night, kind of this emotional eating thing, and these patterns go so deep. And I wanted to share with you this fifth principle that I just taught her. It was a great conversation. That's why I wanted to bring it up. The fifth principle is reconditioning habits, and it's before we even talk about habits. If you aren't taking care of yourself or having food as nourishment, if you aren't regularly eating nutrient dense foods, this doesn't work. This is like an advanced skill, but it's good and it's necessary if you really want to get to the root of things. First of all, we have to understand you're not going to stop emotional eating right away. It's a deep pattern, and we need to recondition our brain by associating pleasure with self-care and associating pain with emotional eating. Now, how do you associate pain the right way in emotional eating? Here's what I did for weed. So with weed, my part of my story is that I smoked weed addictively for years, and a lot of it was to manage emotional pain. And one of the core principles how I used to get over weed applies equally to food. And all it involves is not hating yourself while you smoke or while you eat, and instead not disconnecting from the pain. So with weed, I would feel my body. Oh God, I'm lonely right now. I am hurting. I'm hurting. And I because of this pain in my heart, I'm being drawn towards weed to manage the pain. And then before I tried doing this, what I do is I'd smoke weed and I'd allow myself to just kind of zone out and fantasize and like just watch TV. And this time, after I started doing this, I said, okay, I'm gonna let myself smoke weed, but I'm gonna stay in touch with the pain. I'm gonna see if it actually helps. And so I'd smoke, and I noticed that some of the pain went away, but not all of it. And then it was like, if I really paid attention, it was like, after I'm done smoking, the pain is still there. So I stopped fooling myself, and I stopped judging myself. So this is like, it's not going to stop you from smoking or eating overnight, but what it will do is it will slow down your momentum. And over time, the frequency will decrease. And then on the other hand, what we want to do is start noticing the pleasure of self-care. So this means maybe one day you hold off on emotional eating because you're very aware that it doesn't solve your pain. You've been present, you've been realizing, wow, this pain, this anxiety, my thoughts about my kids and my work, it's all this anxiety and stress and pressure, it's actually not going away when I eat. So eating is becoming less rewarding. And then on the other hand, maybe you actually go on a walk or you handle the emotions some other way. And this relates back to principle 3, like I talked about earlier. If you are eating healthy food, nutrient-dense food, you'll notice that your body feels a lot better. And so you can notice the pleasure of eating healthy and the emotional good feelings of that. That'll help you in these times. But eventually you go on a walk, you take care of yourself, you process your emotion, and all of a sudden the urge to overeat just isn't there. The urge to smoke just isn't there. And when that happens and you make it to the other side where there's no urges, you reward yourself. You notice that good feeling. And this is how you keep practicing, right? And so basically you go into self-care and you you try to take care of yourself. You take a shower, you go on a walk, you call a friend, you journal, you process your feelings. If you want to eat after that, it's okay. Remember, no judgment, just curiosity. All right, so you try to take care of yourself and really notice the good feelings of taking care of yourself. And then when these patterns are going to continue, when the patterns continue, you go into emotional eating, but you don't disconnect. And so you're you're still aware of the pain the residual pain that you have. And this is one way, this is like a powerful way where we begin to recondition how we relate to emotional eating. It's a powerful mindset. And I'd love to know any remaining questions you have. Shoot me an email, comment. I'd love to engage with you. What questions do you have? What topics should I cover in the next video? All right, thank you for your time. Peace.